Welcome to another episode, everyone. Lil Suge Knight's son, has a chilling message for baby oil P. Diddy. He says that P. Diddy and his father are not the same and explains why P. Diddy was able to get away with his gruesome tactics for so long. This individual here, his hands alone scare me.
History has often compared your father's tactics to Diddy's. Now that
This is Wild Moguls TV perspective right here. Right here. Wild Moguls TV perspective. All right. Shout out to them.
the legal tables have turned,
Absolutely not.
we'll say street tactics, whatever, so often. They compared your father's tactics to Diddy. Now that the legal tables have turned, how do you view the difference between street justice and the federal matrix?
It's a weird time right now, bro, because everybody's saying fuck the streets. From from rappers, 21 Savage and all that. So first off, Diddy's tactics and Suge Knight tactics are totally different.
Yeah.
One has baby oil, and one has just pure, just real street business,
Damn.
real business. I don't know, man. I just don't see anything what Diddy did that I don't want to speak on the guy. It's all what we see, what the news are reporting. But based off even after that 50 Cent documentary, you just have multiple stories of people turning the other cheek and allowing him to get away with things compared to with Suge Knight. He's so big that he can't get away with it. He's already presumed guilty before even proven innocent.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference between Diddy and Suge.
But now that we see the documentary, it does seem like this whole time for 30 years, it was like as if, besides the sex stuff, but just like the gangster, the crazy business tactics that he was doing, they always try to attribute that to Suge. But now we look back 30 years, Puffy was the one on this. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really he had like a cleaner image. He looked like the guy that was just dancing and,
That's the whole point. So, 30 years later, we realized that, you see, even after watching that documentary, people were saying that you could see that all of the artists on Bad Boy were looking like they were struggling. They actually were struggling compared to artists in Death Row. Even artists in Death Row still to this day are still eating. So it's just more like Suge actually had actual good business compared to what was going on with Diddy's situation. And
He said compared to Diddy's situation. Yeah, perhaps in comparison, because many rumors persist that Suge Knight, was, let me be careful here. Little Suge and these big ass hands he got. Look here, boy. I don't want no problems. I'm getting up there in age, man. I probably can't take you now. I don't know. I'll give you a run, though. But nevertheless, individuals have said that Suge, Big Suge, was a little sketchy with the money, with the funds for his artists as well. But the rumors have long since persist that P. Diddy robbed many of his artists blind. The Locks, Mary J. Blige, you name it. And this is what he is alluding to here, that there are individuals on death row that were getting their money and that are still getting money compared to P. Diddy's crew. Not only that, the interviewer here, which I believe perhaps is Malik Spellman, shout out to that brother. Again, Wild Moguls TV perspective. He's, saying that everyone looked at P. Diddy, and it's essentially true, like he was the good guy in the industry. Yeah, we know he was hooked up with Biggie and he's from New York and this and that, but no one really saw P. Diddy as some sort of thug, as some killer. Didn't see him as a baby oil freak either, which he turned out to be, but didn't see him as some scary killer. But when you see Suge Knight, that's the image that is portrayed of him. This is what you would think of him. Of course, he did not help with some of this image, some of the rumors that were on him, Suge Knight, with some of his antics in the industry, scaring individuals and buffaloing individuals and this and that. But for the most part, most of us thought P. Diddy was the good guy. that nothing was wrong with him, that he was just, he may have been a little sketchy with some of his artists and the money, but that he was an okay guy that was just dancing and that was okay with everyone. Just rich and famous and didn't bother anyone. But then come to find out, as they are alluding to here in this interview, P. Diddy is the one that was the dangerous one. He had everyone fooled. Everyone thought that he was cool, minding his business and didn't bother anyone. Come to find out, P. Diddy is the real Suge Knight, or hell, even worse than that. I mean, not only did he exploit people, bully people, threaten people, harm people physically, women, beat them. Yeah, no, he committed some very sick crimes. According to the allegations set forth by the victims. So P. Diddy is the one.
I think we just got caught up in that the lies and scandals and how the media portray people. Mm-hmm. Because now I'm seeing what they're doing to him, what they did to my father a long time ago. So I don't know, man. Like the fact that they said Craig Mack, he was wanting some money, and Diddy pulled out a wad of cash and just gave him 100. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear no stories like that at Death Row. Yeah. Even if you come out now and be like, oh yeah, Suge wasn't handling it right. Nah, it sounds like more so those people who didn't handle their money, they handled their money right, so they didn't manage that right. So everybody has different stories and all that, but end of the day, people got to take accountability what they did and the situations they were in. Can't make an excuse,
Can't make an excuse. With the recent capture of President Maduro by U.S. forces is a massive global headline. Do you see parallels between how the U.S. government treats foreign dictators and how they treat urban kingpins?
That's a great question, but
it's all the same.
No, that's just the American way. America's been America. Them kidnapping the president, yeah, it's not, the moral thing, the right thing to do, or like, international world code, it's probably a world law that you can't do that. But America's been like that, America was built off slavery. That wasn't just no beautiful Disneyland, Disney type of story. So that's just how that goes. That's the politics. I say that they did warn him before, and he stood 10 toes and got abducted. That's all I can say.
I mean, one thing I think for Diddy, I mean, you could say what you want, but he did bring some hope that, because the way that the feds went at him, we all thought it was over for Diddy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like just the way they handled it, like
yeah.
It didn't seem like there was no potential of him not doing more than life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
They was on Diddy. It looked bad for baby old Diddy for a while. Looked like he was about to go down for some time, 30, 40 years, life in prison, something. He had a myriad of victims that came forward, accused him of many things. Nevertheless, as many of us know, many of the charges P. Diddy ended up beaten or the charges were dropped, charges were reduced. He ended up not getting that long in prison, really, in comparison to what he was facing, for sure. And by all accounts, will be home soon. And, a lot of these type of freaky individuals, they never really change who they are. It's hard. They don't change their spots. They're freaky. They was freaky from the beginning, and they'll be freaky to the day they die.
It just didn't look like it. This dude's finna do 20 plus years for sure. He might do 10 if he's lucky. He might be able to just do 10 and get away. Like, I mean, it really looked bad. And for him to win it almost felt like an OJ situation in a way. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, he's a powerful person, not just because of his wealth. Just the information. He had cameras, he has documents on people, he has dirt on people. And that's another way of, a power play, how he was maneuvering how to make sure he didn't do life or do 20 years. I wouldn't wish 20 years on anybody. I don't think anybody feel that way. Now, do you expect me to have any sympathy for him? Not really. You know, he should be accountable for his actions. My father already did over 15 years, over 20 years, if you count all his life. So it's like, he didn't do half the bad things that Diddy did, and I'm not here to compare, but it's just like, what I've seen from Diddy's situation is that a lot of people turn their backs and turn their heads and allowed his abuse to keep going. Nobody stood up and be like, hey, this is not right. Or they was in fear of their life. So it's just, that's just something that's just like, that's just messing up the game, you know? That was their play. And for us, that's just trying to be like involved in the music industry. The music industry is already corrupted. You know, the business in America is already corrupted. So it's like, you got to know that some people who, you think about the music industry, the police department, all of that stuff started out as corruption. So there wasn't just like, these are good guys and these guys just became like, yeah, let's do the right thing. No, they had to learn and find that there's rules and laws and regulations, and then they have to adapt to that. So that's what we're just seeing, the outcome of how things are rolling out.
Yeah, they still have not adapted to that. So he's, of course, making the point that P. Diddy's crimes, he said he's not here to compare, understandable, but that P. Diddy's crimes are worse than his father's crimes, than Suge Knight's crimes. P. Diddy's crimes are lengthy and horrific, the crimes that he was accused of. But again, actually, I mean, we can only go on what he was found guilty of, P. Diddy, because a lot of this stuff he was not found guilty of. He was charged with it. There were rumors about it. There were accusations about it. There were people coming forward. There were documentaries. Some of the stuff he wasn't not even charged with that were in these documentaries. Then the stuff that he was charged with, but of course, as he said, P. Diddy is a powerful individual. Yeah, money-wise, and not just money-wise, but he has a lot of connections. And it all came out, during these investigations relating to P. Diddy, that he was holding stuff over his victims' heads, allegedly. He had video footage of these people in all sorts of compromising positions. These people being, just humiliated. And he had pictures of this, videos of this, footage of this, and threatened to release it, threatened to put them on the internet and all of this. And you have to believe that P. Diddy, so deep in the game, so connected, so rich, that he had stuff on some of these lawyers, doctors, judges, all of these people, just like Harry Weinstein, all of these people, sorts of individuals, just like the Epstein situation, all of these individuals are powerful and connected. They're police officers. They're all of that are abusing these women and children. So P. Diddy, I'm sure, threatened to expose all kinds of people. If not the judge in particular, the prosecutor in particular, people that they know that got to them and said, man, cut him some slack or I'm going down. Yeah, I can see that happening.
So now what do you feel as far as from a global perspective, as far as global wars? Like, we literally just went into another country, just took over the country and took out the president. Like, what would America feel if the president of France just came in here and just took Donald Trump, took him back to the prison of France, and then France, the president of France is saying, yeah, we're taking control of America. Like,
yeah, that would be a hard thing to believe because we're the ones doing, taking control of people. So it is what it is. It's just a part of life. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So we damn near borderline like at World War III. They don't want to announce it, but there's so much going on that we just have to we got to be prepared. Our currency is going down. You know what I'm saying? We're going through this shift where it's like we're leaving the analog era into the digital era. And now you got different countries either partnering up with China to had to make sure that their gold or whatever their money is more higher than ours, or the political power. So we're all going through that whole stage. We don't know what's really the next stage that we're in. That's why the economy is just constantly changing, because we don't know if we might be up one day, we might be down the next day, and there's so many different things. It's just taking the play that we gotta just move. We gotta act on it. We can't be weak. So it's just a part of the game.
So does the capture of the world leader prove the theory that the government is actually the biggest gang in the world?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on now. The government we started out as a gang. We pretty much said, fuck Britain or whatever, the UK, we want to have our own democracy. So we always been like that. And then when they enslaved black people, that was $1 billion in the industry. They didn't have to pay those people. We got up, they was winning for so long, built the railroad tracks, been winning for so long. So now what's the next thing that we're going to be doing? We just got to stay.
We just built the railroad tracks. We built the country. Do you know that slaves built the White House? Literally, brick by brick, physically built the White House, the Pentagon. Slaves built this stuff. Slaves built the country. These institutions, these bank institutions that refuse to give black people loans originate from slavery. These colleges, Harvard, Brown University, they originate from slavery, funded by slavery. This is how they got their funding. This is how these things were erected and still exist today. And it's not just the way that it is, as Lil Suge has alluded to. It's just, it is the way that it is, but don't resign ourselves to it. This is not the way that it is supposed to be. And we need to stand up against the tyranny, as people have done throughout the history of this sadistic, wicked country. And when he says we, this is just the way that we are. I'm not sure what he means by we. I'm assuming he's including himself in the American landscape, even though he has been disincluded throughout the history of this country. Nevertheless, that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. Speaking about P. Diddy, nevertheless, what say you? Did P. Diddy get away with many of his crimes? Did he get railroaded? Some people believe P. Diddy is not even supposed to be in prison. That Cassie and other individuals lied on him, made this up for money, or that even if it happened, that they had consented to it at the time. And only when they got angry and the video came out with him beating on her and all of this, and she filed the lawsuit and got some money, then all of this stuff started to come out. Some people said that they were complicit by partaking in these sadistic activities from the beginning. Nevertheless, that's what happens with victims. If he is threatening them and essentially holding them hostage, threatening to release footage on them after he's got footage on them via bullying, then he's manipulating them, keeping them under his control. So it would make sense that some of these individuals would not come forward at that time. I don't like anyone who abuses women, me myself. So the hell with P. Diddy. He needs to be exiled from the black community, like a lot of other individuals. I do believe that he's involved in a lot of this nonsense. And it's sick. And he's not above the law. He's not above humanity. He's not above morality. None of us are. No matter who the hell he is. We are so in love and infatuated with these damn celebrities that we let them get away with any damn thing. No. Shout out to Lil Suge Knight. And I was about to say a few more things, because he said, like, it's debatable. It's not really debatable whose crimes are the worst, but with his father, what Suge Knight is in prison for, it's not a cakewalk. Seen the video footage of the dude getting ran over, bagged up, and came forward and knocked out it, bam, slammed the other dude 50 feet. Then some of the other things he's been accused of in the industry, throughout his career, essentially. So they all have ways and habits that need to be addressed. But again, I don't want any problems with Lil Suge here, so I'm not here to ruffle any feathers. Shout out to Wild Moguls TV Perspective. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is there a difference between Suge Knight and P. Diddy? Well, of course there's a difference. I mean, they're accused of totally different things. Totally different things. You know, what P. Diddy is accused of is of a sicker nature. Absolutely. A sicker variety. No way. I haven't heard these sort of allegations against Suge. These allegations against P. Diddy. But again, we really have to just stick to what he was found guilty of, not necessarily what the allegations were, because people made these allegations. These allegations were tried in a court of law, and he was acquitted. After looking at all of the evidence, some of the evidence that you and I have not been able to look at, the people looked at the evidence and said, there's nothing to see here. Tough situation. Stay safe and stay free, people.